Hello, Xylophoney here, welcoming you back to the return of How to Pixelmon, your instructional Pixelmon guide. Now, as you can see here, we are in the brand new Pixelmon update 4.0.3. It is now stable. We have Ho-Ohs. There's some Ho-Ohs over there, Ho-Ohs over there. Okay, so they despawned. There they are. We got them all around, and I got some here, and I would like to show you how to make this Pokemon as good as possible. So, of course, you know, got a little decoration saying we got that 1.8 going, we got everything lovely, and let's get down to business. So here we got the shiny version of Ho-Oh. Let me just give you guys a closer look at that compared to the other one. I really like the shiny. I mean, they're both really cool looking, but it's just so much more gold on that shiny. I don't know, Ho-Oh's a really cool looking Pokemon, so it's definitely awesome that they added it in, especially since it, you know, contrasts Lugia so well. It's nice to have those both in. Oh, we got another one we're going to have to be doing an episode on there. A little Pupitar over there. I see how you're doing. I see how you are. But yeah, let's go right into it. I said this before, but let's look at Ho-Oh. Now, when you think about Ho-Oh, you think, well, it's a legendary. Yes, it's very strong, and it is. But it honestly has some really weird stats. So, just taking a look at the stats here, it has 106 health, 90 defense, and 154 special defense. Now, looking at its defensive stats, it has an obvious weakness when it comes to physical defense, and being a part flying, part fire Pokemon, a strong rock type move is going to take it out very quickly. Unfortunately, it kind of falls under the same category as Volcarona, where there's not a lot you can do about it. It's just going to get wrecked by physical moves, and that's definitely its biggest weakness. When it comes to its offensive abilities, it got 130 attack, 110 special attack, and 90 speed. That's some very good abilities. Now, physical attack's going to be its best thing, and it doesn't have a ton of speed, but you can train it for speed and make it faster than most Pokemon, and it'll be very effective to have. Now, here's our Ho-Oh, and we're going to take a bit of a look at him here. So, we have it kind of organized here by choice items. Obviously, you could do some different items, but there's a lot of ways you can build a Ho-Oh. Where you can do a physical attacker, you can do a special attacker, you can do a mixed, you can try to speed him up, you can try to make him tanky. There's a lot of different ways, but first we're going to take a look at the physical attacker, which is probably the most obvious of things you can do with him. He learns a lot of physical moves on his own. You really don't need to TM him much, but he can learn Earthquake, so that's always a TM if you have it. Throw that on him, of course, but also he has Sacred Fire, 100 power and 95 accuracy on a physical fire move. Definitely a great move to have. Brave Bird, one of the strongest flying type moves there is. And there's Punishment in case you're up against something that's been using, you know, Dragon Dance or something like that. This will make sure you completely wreck them. Plus, it's good to have, you know, a Dark type move as a little bit of coverage on you. But we also have Earthquake, which is just great because, as I said, we have that rock weakness, right? Ground is super effective against rock. So, you see where I'm getting here? You have a great counter for it, some great moves, insane attack power. Honestly, you don't really even need to use a choice band on this guy. I would probably, you know, lean more towards something such as a Life Orb, but if you really feel the need to one-shot everything, go for the choice band. Do whatever you want. Get a physical attack nature on this guy, or a speed nature if you want him to outspeed things, and go to town. You'll wreck everything. Now, looking at his other stats, we have 110 special attack. That is certainly enough to make him into a special attacker. Go for a nice special attacker speed nature, and then go to town on his moves. You have extra sensory, which he learns on his own. Good for a psychic move, but you can also just TM him psychic, which is a little bit better. Thing about the special attack moveset, you're going to need to use some TMs on him. So, stuff such as Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, good moves to have. You got the Stab on Flamethrower. You can't really get any special attack flying type moves. You got kind of the same, you know, movesets as Charizard when it comes to that. That's definitely a weakness, but he can learn Thunder, and Thunder is a very strong move, electric, so you can take out some of other types you weren't able to before, and it takes out Water type, which is obviously something very good against Ho-Oh. So it's a good counter to have, good special attack if you want to mix up your opponent. A lot of people don't know the specifics of Ho-Oh, but those who do generally think, well, he's got more attack, so he'll probably be a physical attacker. Nope, this one's special attack, so you set him up like that. Then we have my personal favorite, which is a mixed attacker. You can set him up with speed, and then give him some in both, physical and special attack, and give him moves of both. Now, in this one, we got Brave Bird and Fire Blast. We have a physical and a special move, both stab, both extremely powerful at 120. You don't need a choice item, you don't need a life orb. This is just going to wreck stuff. It's going to be amazing. So if you throw a choice scarf on this guy, this will hit first and kill. But you also have the counters on him. You have the Thunder to counter those water type and the Earthquake to counter those rock type. It's really good to have those types of moves, plus they're both really good moves as well. Now, the thing with this Ho-Oh is obviously you have the choice scarf on him, so if someone switches out, there's not a lot you can do if, say, you're stuck in Thunder or stuck in Earthquake. So you may have to switch your Ho-Oh back out, but when you do use him, he is going to hurt things very, very badly. Now finally, we're going to take a more defensive approach on Ho-Oh. I mean, after all, its best stat is its special defense, but once again it has that weakness in its physical defense, so you have to cater this guy specifically to special attacking targets. And from what I've seen in people's habits in Pixelmon, they generally use physical attackers more. But when it comes to special attackers, this Ho-Oh will be great. Give him some moves such as Recover and Calm Mind. Calm Mind will give him more special defense as well as more special attack. If you can stack that up and use Recover whenever you start to feel weak, you can make it so your Thunder and Fire Blast here will do a ton of damage, more than any of the three Ho-Ohs above. And it'll definitely make it worth it if you can set it up properly. Build this guy tanky, set him up as you please, and be ready to have a very effective setup. Now obviously, we all kind of knew Ho-Oh was strong because he's legendary, but I think when it comes to him, you really do want to have a kind of a specific setup. I really do like my third and fourth plans, especially that mixed attacker, definitely to just have your bases covered and be able to take out very strong opponents. But other than that, I think that's everything we have to say about him. Well, we got some TMs here. You've seen the Earthquake Psychic, and we can also do Solar Beam if you want to have a sunny day setup. Go for that. Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt. And, oh yes, Flame Charge. If you want to make up for a little bit of that speed on the physical attacker, swap out that Sacred Fire for a Flame Charge, and you can start to build up your speed like that. That might also work good with a setup that has Recover on it. So that's just another thing you can do. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode of How to Pixelmon. It's really good to be getting back into those, and there should be a lot more coming soon due to the most recent updates and our massive amount of Pokemon added. So definitely leave a like if you have enjoyed this, and I guess we will see you for the next episode of How to Pixelmon.